Hello everybody, it's Patty here with Patty Stitches. Today is June the 1st, 2026, and this is episode 351. On today's show, I just have whips to show you, so sit back and relax. Grab your beverage of choice, water for me, your craft of choice, and let's chat. So how was everybody's week? Mine was good. Yeah, we still haven't hit 70 degrees. It's still kind of chilly here in the interior of Alaska. It's not been pleasant. The nights are still getting in the high 40s. So, yeah. And it's been like in the 50s and 60s. It's been rainy. It's supposed to be rainy for this week, and except for like 3 days. And one of those days is going to be 70. So fingers crossed that it's really going to hit the 70s, because this has been a very cool spring. Very cool. It's usually hit 70 by now, and it just hasn't. The garden is doing well because it's up close to the house, and the house is keeping it warm. What else? Oh, knitting was really nice. There was only 3 of us this week. Hopefully, or last week, hopefully this week there will be more. One of the ladies that show up every week has gone to her summer place, so we will miss her, but it's fun that she gets to do different things. We had the littles on Sunday. They had a great time. We went to the school that's close to our house. They played for an hour. And when Grandma said it's time to go, okay, let's go. Because it was chilly too, sitting out there with them. It was chilly. And we came home and they obviously played here. Had some ice cream they were really happy about. So, yeah. Anything else exciting? Not really. We've just been hanging here, watching the plants grow, and not really doing much of anything. Retired life, right? So, shall we get on with the stitching? I think so. All right. My final Mania Monday new start. I went ahead and pulled this one. Even though I have a Michelle ink started, I wanted to start this one. And this is Quaker Gone Po. I am stitching this on 32 count Shall Not Pass by Fortnight Fabric. I pulled my own colors because it calls for 3 colors of Silk and Garden. That doesn't sound right. Silken Colors. Sorry, by Thread Gatherers. Sorry, way off. So I pulled my own colors, which is a green, a gold, and a plummy color. Because if you look at the picture, there is a gold, and there is a plummy color, and then I think that's supposed to be a gray, but I just went ahead and turned it into a green. So, and I think they're going to look really good, and the green does look really nice on this fabric. So, this is where I'm at on my new start. And I think it'll turn out good. I'm happy with that. So that was my last new start for Mania. So very, very exciting. Okay. And I will be setting all of my new starts into a pile for new November, which if you were here with me last year, it was anything that I started in November or started new in the year, I also worked on again in November. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It will be very, very fun. Okay, and then I worked on Santa's Village, which is Poinsettia Place. This time by Country Cottage Needleworks. Country Cottage Needleworks. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Platinum by Zweigart. Okay, and this is where I'm at. I have an itchy nose. So I've got the roof. I did the roof, so that's what I got done on this. I'm very happy. I was kind of wishing I had gotten a lot more done on it, but each stitch is closer being finished, right? Right. Okay. And if you were with me last week, either last week or the week before, I said I was no longer going to stay with if I've started something or if I have something going from a designer, more than one design, I wasn't going to work on it. As you know, I said, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. So this is my Primitive Hair Trick or Treat pumpkin stitch. I am working on Witches Are Welcome as well, but I'm just working on whatever floats my boat, because I really did have problems with my stitchy bug for the last month, and I think this is going to help. So I am stitching this on 30 count, Old Salem, and Primitive Hair dyed it as well. I am using the called for floss with this one. So I only had a little bit of the hat done, so I got some more of the hat. I just had to do a little bit on the bottom here, but I did this whole big swirl thing. So now I need the band and the brim, and then the hat's done, and then I can start working on the pumpkin. So pumpkin's going to be fun to work on. Going to take a long time because he's deceptively big. Yeah, but he's super cute. And I don't know if I'm going to do all of the border and the words. I haven't decided yet. I may make him small, put him in a small frame, or make him a small pillow without the border and stuff. So, but that's where I'm at. We shall see, but so far I don't feel like doing the border. Alrighty, then I worked on Little Acorn by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is the Sal that I am working on. I am using 36 count Winter Brew by R&R and using floss from Silks For You. I did the week before I had finished May, so this last week I worked on June. So June, let me get my glasses on. So June is this, and this. So I had already started part of this when I was doing the sides to see where my border went after I flubbed it up really bad in Hawaii. So I reworked it, but I had some of this already done. And on Friday, I finished the rest of that first motif. So that's where I'm at. And all depending on how my weeks shape out, I may do this one next and then the center, or the center and then this one. It just depends on how I'm feeling. And it may be 1 or 2 days, but we'll have to wait and see, because I really do want to keep up on this, and with jury duty possibilities, I will have to wait and see. As you can tell, I was not called. My number was not called for today, so here's hoping nothing here. All right. I pulled out Ink Circles, Another Year Creeps By. I am stitching this on a 32 count Helix Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I am working on the borders first. I had the first row of borders completed the last time you saw it. And this time I started working on the second row of borders, and I got one, I believe almost 1.5 done. So very happy, or at least I'm starting on the second one. So this is also so much fun to stitch on. I'm having a great time stitching on it when I pull it out. I'm using the called for floss, and it's 2/1. So, because this helix is kind of a tight. This one shrunk really tight. So 2/1 is working really well. Sorry, itchy nose again. Okay. Then I pulled out Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, which is by Carriage House Samplings. And I'm working on the Headless Horseman, not Ichabod Crane like I said the last time. Headless Horseman block. And right now I'm trying to get all the black I can reach done before I start putting color in. So I got a lot done on Sunday, which was the 31st. And I got all this tree done Sunday. That's a lot of black, especially having the littles over. And most of it I stitched in the morning before they got here, after I went grocery shopping. So, yeah, I'm very happy. That moon is going to be big. So, I don't know if I said what this was. This is 40 Count Heritage by Picture This Plus. The squares are 92 by 92, so they're deceptively bigger than what you think they are. There's a lot of stitches in there, especially if it's full coverage, a lot. That's why I'm really holding off for that one with the skeletons, if I'm going to do it or not, because that one is definitely all full coverage. All right, and then the last one I worked on, off and on, which it was more off and on, is my Gamer Nouveau, art by Medusa Dollmaker and charted by Gecko Rouge. I'm stitching this on 25 count easy guide, 1/1, with the called for floss. It was a kit. The fabric and the floss is a kit. So here's where I'm at. I finished the hand, and I just have the wrist right there. So this page will have this, but I am putting this away for a month. And I'm going to be working on Amy Stewart's, what's it, Fairy Tale? Once Upon a Fairy Tale? That's what it is. Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I'm going to be working on that this month for my nights and weekends until I get the page finished. The page should be finished hopefully by the middle of the month. And if it is, then I'm going to pull a different full coverage, or maybe go back to Gamer, or maybe just keep plugging on with Once Upon a Fairy Tale and see how I feel about it. Okay, plans. I really don't have any plans because I am burnt out with the planning. As you may recall, if you were with me last week, I talked about it. So this is all the planning I have. I have my new start that I'm working on right now. I have all of the little acorn listed. I have Flag Day listed with Let It Ring. I do have that Once Upon a Fairy Tale. That's my FBS on the bottom there. But that's all she wrote. I may not do Let It Ring. It may turn out to be a patriotic pincushion, so I can get that done. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's my plans. They're really, really open. I know that on the 30th, I will do Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, because I do like to do that at least once a month. And we'll see what else happens. It'll be interesting not to have any plans but those, because the only thing I am going to keep up with is my little acorn. So, looking around, I have nothing else to talk to you guys about. I hope that you're all staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I hope that whatever you craft it to your heart's content. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.